of Kenya is opposed to draft legislation being fronted by the National Assembly's Transport Committee, seeking to remove engineering qualifications for the most senior officers in roads agencies. The institution is concerned that the appointment of non-engineers to head engineering-related state agencies will lead to mismanagement, besides resulting in poor quality public projects that may endanger the lives of Kenyans. IEK's president, engineer Nathaniel Matalanga, gave that perspective during the launch of the capital branch of the institution.
The committee seemed to argue that the role of the DG is not engineering, and therefore you don't need to be an engineer to be the Director General. That's why we are telling the committee that the recommendations of their report are wrong. You cannot perform those roles that we've been talking about unless you are an engineer. Because you want to open it to every person is not good for this country. Today we are talking about engineers. Tomorrow we are going to talk about those other professionals that I've just mentioned to you. Because people will also say, yes, if you can manage the road authority without engineering practice, why do you need to be a lawyer to be the registrar of the High Court? We all have seen the unfortunate incidents where it happened in the energy sector, and the CEO of a company like Kenya Power, people thought it was a provision of service, management of funds, and it was handed over to an accountant. And you have seen, we all know what has happened. You make a decision, a financial decision to buy power without knowing when that power is going to be used. So you're very much buying power that will be available to you at a time you don't need. So the government can recall it. The government can also ensure that the original act, whatever was provided in the original act, is sustained, so that whatever changes that they are proposing will ensure that the holder of the position of the Director General remains a registered engineer.
Now, the National Assembly's Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives has recommended the reopening of the Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach in Mombasa. This follows the complaints arising from traders operating along the beach, who say that life has become unbearable since the facility was shut to contain the spread of COVID-19. NTV's Kevin Mutai now reports on the latest discussions pertaining to the iconic public asset.
The Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach in Mombasa remains a no-go zone several months after being closed to the public. The traders were evicted from the famous Pirates Beach to contain the spread of the virus and pave way for the remodeling of the facility, an exercise that is yet to begin. But the traders, on the other hand, are complaining, pleading with the county government to allow them access, citing the suffering they are facing as a result of the economic hardship caused by the coronavirus pandemic.
Wengine hapa hivi sasa unavyotuona tunasimama, tuna siku 3 hata kula hatujakula. Manyumba ya watu tushatolewa. Maana hatujalipa.
On Saturday, the National Assembly's Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives visited the area. The MPs challenged the county government to put in place measures and reopen the facility, which will boost efforts of reviving the tourism industry and the economy.
They can easily be able to pass bylaws ya kuwa unataka kufanya biashara katika soko, sharti wewe umekuwa vaccinated. Kama hutaki, baada ya kila wiki tuletee result ya kuwa ni negative. In that is hii nchi lazima tuendelee jameni. Kila siku kufungia haisaidii. People are suffering more from depression, from lack of livelihood than even COVID itself.
Tutaenda tukae, summon county government ya Mombasa ije ituelezee kwa nini walivunja vibanda kule Pirates, kwa nini hapa Mama Ngina kunafunguliwa kwa wengine na kwa wengine haijafunguliwa. Pia tuitishe watu wa Ministry of Health watuelezee ni lini wanafikiria wanaweza kufungua pale hizo area mbili za biashara ili wananchi waweze kuendelea na biashara zao.
According to the county's Department of Tourism, the facelifting of the beachfront will give it a state-of-the-art outlook, allowing construction of modern facilities that will even create more employment opportunities. The area leaders now want the traders to be admitted back under strict COVID-19 guidelines as they wait for the regeneration of the public beach. Kevin Mutai, NTV in Mombasa.
Now, the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, says the process of connecting beneficiaries with the 51 billion shillings of unclaimed assets in its possession will will soon be done entirely online, as the authority is keen to move away from manual processes. In a statement, the authority says it is in the process of developing an online system that will facilitate filing, processing and disbursement of assets to their rightful owners and beneficiaries. The authority has in the past been criticised for its poor record of reuniting beneficiaries with their unclaimed financial assets, with the Auditor General citing that it succeeded in giving out only 2.7% of assets it had received to beneficiaries at June last year. All right, and that is your business news.